Deathtag, Dogtag, Dwangotag is the same fictional game mode as Team Deathmatch, which arose before the appearance of the first resource ports that brought new features to the game for real. This game mode was developed by Lance Lancaster, known as Aikman, and Craig Wessel, Talon, in 1995. It was launched for the first time on the Dwango server in Dallas. John Romero himself was among the first players to try it out. The Deathtag mode selection feature did not exist at server launch, so players simply selected Deathmatch instead. It's difficult to call this mode a prototype of Capture the Flag because there were no specialized items on the map, flags or skulls that needed to be captured and brought to your base. Then how did people play it? Deathtag could be played 1 versus 1. In one of the text files, this option was called Frog Tag, or 2 versus 2. 4 is the maximum number of players in Vanilla Doom's multiplayer. Division into teams could happen in advance in a chat, or it could be said out loud at the LAN party. At the beginning of the match, all players appeared in a room with teleporters, which determined the teams. At this moment, an additional division took place within the team itself into a runner and a player who is responsible for pressing the button. After the teleport room, players entered the main gameplay area. The first task deemed was to press a button that allowed the runner to access the anti-radiation suit and teleport. The second task is for the runner to run through a section of the map that is inaccessible to the first player, where the acid floor causes damage of 20 health units at short intervals. It's worth remembering a funny feature of the game. Acid occasionally causes damage through a protective suit, so an accident could occur if your health was low. At the end of the path, the runner meets the treasured button or finish line. Crossing it gives the team 1 point. It was displayed as a change in an additional texture in the form of a number on the corresponding scoreboard, or as a rise in a sector the size of a small column. When one of the teams scored 5 points, the match ended by pressing the exit button. Pressing this button prematurely has been prohibited. The third task was to actively prevent the opposing team from picking up weapons, a suit, and especially gaining points. Frags in this mode did not have much value, but players still had to destroy their opponents with a rocket launcher. This kind of team game required more concentration than a regular deathmatch. However, the map authors added a mode switch to the first location, which made it possible to block the area with acid, giving players the opportunity to play for frags the old-fashioned way. The reason why Deathtag is sometimes called Dwangotag or Dogtag is because of the release of WADs and map packs of the same name, similar to the usual parts of the Dwango series. Some viewers may be familiar with the Judas level series by Brian Bonatta, but few people know that there was a Judas 22 map that was specifically created by Brian for Deathtag. Some authors have tried to go beyond the boundaries set by Aikman and Talon. For example, Tom Mustaine and his Wadi Mountain King offered the ability to display a personal score rather than a team score. There is no location with acid. There is no need to find a protective suit. The player only needs to climb the mountain and press the lever. Upon reaching 5 points, the player needs to click on the final switch and complete the map. T-Veer and his WAD, 3 guys with guns, offered a variation of Deathtag for 3 players, where everyone fought for themselves. There is a green, gray, and brown player's fort. Everyone's task is to unlock the protective suit, and, after running across the lava, press the desired lever in the form of a skull. Upon reaching 5 points, the match still ended by pressing the exit button. The well-known clan Unidoom, in its first collection of competitive maps, UDM, one also added 2 maps under Deathtag by Dean Joseph, also known as a Deathzor. However, this happened at the end of the mode's popularity when it was already actively being replaced by the new Capture the Flag. Deathtag definitely had some popularity in the 90s, especially with players looking for team-based play options. In fact, new game modes in Doom only appeared with the advent of breakthrough source ports. At present, Deathtag game mode unfortunately is forgotten,